Good morning. Welcome to my channel. I am going to be making some elderberry syrup this morning. And so I'm actually coming down with a cold. I should have had some in stock, but I haven't had a chance to make any. So I'm going to be making some. So I'm going to be using 2 cups of elderberry to 4 cups of water. I'm going to be using cinnamon stick, honey later. And so let me go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to add 4 cups of water, which I'm actually using purified water. You can use distilled water or filtered water, but I'm using purified water. So I'm going to add 4 cups of water to the elderberries, as well as 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. Or you can use fresh ginger as well, but I'm using ground ginger because that's what I have in stock right now. I'm adding 1 cinnamon stick, and then I'm going to add. So I've added in all my ingredients. I'm going to stir this. I'm going to let this come to a boil, and then I'm going to turn it down, and then I'm going to let it seep for about an hour to make sure that all the elderberries are fully cooked and that you get the best results in terms of your syrup. So I've turned the fire down. I'm going to let this seep for about 30-40 minutes. And actually, I'll just put the top on this because this pan holds heat. And so even though if I turn the fire off, it will still remain cooking for a while. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let this seep for a while and let the fluids or liquids absorb in the berries. And then I'm going to strain it. So this has been still cooking for the last almost 30 minutes. It's been seeping, but you can tell it's still very hot. So now I'm gonna strain this out. So I'm gonna see if this will work. If not, I'm gonna have to stop and try something different. Try to strain the elderberries out. So as you can see, this is working somewhat, but this is gonna take some time because I'm gonna have to drain or strain the rest of these elderberries out, see? Well, this has been a process trying to strain this out. So I've been doing it bits by bit. I'm almost done. It's probably the last batch. It's pretty much almost full. Well, it's about half full. So let me go ahead and finish. So this is my last batch of my strain. As you can see, I used a rubber band around the jar to hold the cheesecloth. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish straightening this out. I'm not feeling my best self, so I actually need to be taking some of this now. Whew, exhausted a little bit, so let me go ahead and finish up. So this made about 20 ounces of liquid. So I have to add in my honey, and I may add in some lemon juice and maybe some apple cider vinegar. All these are good for your health. Okay, so I'm gonna use the remainder of this honey, and then I'm gonna use a different type of honey. So this is like a South End honey, which is by Herbs and Honey. And I'm gonna use about a cup and a half of this one because there's not that much left over in this one. So I got a mess going on over here. So I'm gonna end up using 2 cups of honey. I've already put in a half a cup already, so this is a cup, and I'm gonna use another half. Because this syrup is actually gonna go in the refrigerator, it's okay. So I'm using the honey, which is gonna be like a preservative for the syrup. Because I have so much goodness in the syrup, this is definitely not a cheap syrup, but it is about 20 ounces. It will probably end up being close to 32 ounces because I've already added my sugar. I'm gonna add some apple cider vinegar to it, and then I'm gonna pour it back into the jar. Yes, this is definitely goodness. This is, elderberry is definitely good for you. So this is definitely something to consider if you're interested in making your own homemade syrup. So this is elderberry syrup. I'm using this brand. I've used Bragg's, which is apple cider vinegar. This is with the mother, but this is what I have in stock, so this is what I'm using. I don't promote any brands, but there are certain ones that I will use. So I'm going to use about a half a cup, which is probably the remaining in this jar of this apple cider vinegar. I try not to waste anything, so the used elderberries will be placed back into my garden for use. You don't necessarily need to waste anything, so this is just compost. I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I'm going to add the syrup to this jar once again. So as you can see, I have more syrup, so I'm gonna have to use another jar to get the remaining of the syrup out. Okay, so here is the finished product of my elderberry syrup. I ended up having a lot more than what I planned, so I'm gonna end up putting this in the refrigerator. This is gonna go in the refrigerator. This is a lot. I'll be taking probably about 2 tablespoons maybe a day. I probably need some right now. I'm kind of feeling under the weather. So anyway, let me go ahead and listen. You have a great day. Feel free to like and subscribe. This is homemade elderberry syrup.